Hey, yo, E-King Fight News. Y'all know what it is. Back at it. Fucking Instagram, man. That was in the way. That was in the way of this shit. But, Errol Spence Jr., in my opinion, this is now my opinion, he's the number one welterweight in the world. And I mean that in the sense that back about a year and a half ago, actually this is about 3 years ago, when Gennady Golovkin was climbing up the middleweight ranks and Sergio Martinez was up there fighting guys like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And after that whole saga, he ended up finally losing his belt to Miguel Cotto. But in between that, he had fought the long list of these European guys who just weren't really that good. So he looked impressive against them. But then he fought Martin Murray and he got knocked down. And that fight, in Argentina, it was razor thin and Sergio won like a really close decision. But honestly, Martin Murray won that fight. And obviously wasn't going to get that decision. And then after that, he had another tough fight. And then eventually came Miguel Cotto and just left hooked him to death. And fucking, he could not miss that left hook on that night. But Sergio Martinez was there, and during all this time, Golovkin was knocking everyone out. So I think there was a point where Martinez was the champion, but he wasn't the number one middleweight consensus. The consensus number one was that guy Gennady Golovkin. And this is the same case here, where Keith Thurman is holding these belts hostage. He might have won them. Yeah, he beat Danny Garcia, but if Danny Garcia had a belt at welterweight, and you know what? Let me put it this way. Cherry Garcia. Let's say Cherry Garcia did the same thing that Keith Thurman's doing right now. Say he won that fight, Danny Garcia, and then Garcia, same exact deal. He's got a hand injury. He just got married. Let's say Danny Garcia just got married, and now he's talking like he doesn't really want to fight nobody. And I think we would be killing Danny Garcia for the same damn reason that Keith Thurman is getting slayed and embarrassed by Errol Spence. Just listen to this.
What would you like to do with your next fight?
Everybody know I'm waiting on sometime Thurman. I've been waiting for a long time. Since I was 15 and 0, I've been calling this guy out, and he keeps making excuse after excuses. He need to hurry up and come back, fight a little Tono fight, and then let's fight. I'm waiting on him. Let's get it on, man.
I mean, as a challenger, Errol Spence is as respectful as it gets in terms of calling out Keith Thurman. But even he understands that, time is up, man. Like that whole time where you could duck me and it was allowed, that shit is up. I mean, that was 3 years ago. Everyone gave Keith Thurman a pass for passing on a fight with Errol Spence way like two or 3 years ago. But now, come on, Spence has stayed undefeated, has a signature victory against Kell Brook, another signature victory against Lamont Peterson, like flawless destruction. Lamont Peterson looked like a bum at that. He made him look like a bum. Errol Spence continues to get this nonchalant Keith Thurman, who really still wants no parts of this man. So, how Keith Thurman still hasn't really stepped up and made a legitimate response to what Errol Spence, how the way he called him out. And sometime Thurman will be hard pressed to be able to gain some to gain some heat. To get, he sort of in wrestling terms, he seemed to have turned heel and turned on the fans that really adored him when he was on the come up and when he was knocking guys out. You know, I gave him a lot of credit as a welterweight coming up, and the way he's acting right now, it's very off-putting, to say the least. And he should be willing to fight Errol Spence Jr., but he doesn't seem to be, at least for this whole fucking year. Like, he doesn't even want to touch Errol Spence this year. It's like, nope. And it's fucking January. Like, motherfucker, man. I don't know. I want to see Errol Spence do well in the sport of boxing, and I'd love to see him fight Danny Garcia as well. I think Danny Garcia is an awesome fight. I think Sean Porter would be an incredible fight. Sean Porter is another guy that's ducking Errol Spence right now. He's undercover ducking. Like, he's trying, just ducking. He's ducking way in the background. He's just that silent dude in the corners. It's like trying to just avoid all. But you know, he even got asked about Errol Spence, and he said, "You know what? I'm not ranked in the IBF. I can't fight Errol Spence." What the fuck is that? Yo, man. Even Sean Porter, he really not impressive. He's not impressive right now as a welterweight. I would expect him to jump. If he was really hungry and wanted to get some heat back, if he really wanted to step into there in the ring like a wolf and battle it out with another wolf, it would be an epic welterweight fight. You know, the money's there for the fight. You could even put it on you could put that on pay-per-view, and I don't think it would do bad numbers. If you stack the card, it wouldn't do bad numbers. But Sean Porter doesn't want any parts of Keith. Sorry, not Keith. Doesn't want any parts of Errol Spence, and that's the bottom line, man. Errol Spence is the truth right now. He is, and whoever's willing to step up, and shout out to Mikey Garcia, because he's willing to step up, and even like have the balls to talk a fucking game, and be a confident fighter. Like, goddamn, Mikey Garcia out here talking about he could be fighting Errol Spence at the end of the year, after a few fights down the line. And Errol Spence Jr., like I said, he's the most respectful guy. Like, he is encouraging Keith Thurman, come back, have a tune-up, and then it's game time. Like, let's go, bro. Like, what's the hold-up, you know? And Keith Thurman is, yeah, he's got a fight scheduled with Jesse Vargas. Is that his tune-up? He has not. I can understand if he's like, okay, end of the year, it's game time, Errol Spence, let's go. Like, if Keith Thurman said that, like I said, it would probably do a whole 180 for his PR, and people would garner and remember the respect they had for him before this whole situation happened, right? So Keith Thurman can erase everything by accepting a fight with with Errol Spence Jr. He can erase everything, but he needs to stop acting like a duck. Like, that's the end, because we're not gonna forget the fact you act like a duck for 2 years before you fought him. Like, it's the same deal with Canelo Alvarez. We all understood that he did duck Gennady Golovkin for about a year. I'll give it a year. He ducked him for a year. It was like, okay, I gotta fight. Okay, fight this guy, no problem. And he gets a draw out of it. He couldn't even get the win. But I think this second time around, and I hate to just go off topic, but Canelo Alvarez versus Gennady Golovkin, I think that's a good fight, but from what I saw, Golovkin did a good job of backing Canelo up, getting him, like, this is kind of reminiscent of Oscar De La Hoya versus Fernando Vargas in a weird way. But it's weird because Gennady Golovkin is supposed to be this awesome knockout puncher that goes in there, technically breaks you down, and then gets rid of you with a big left hook or something like that. I swear, Fernando Vargas was a more, and I'm telling you, Fernando Vargas is a 147 pounder, right? So but the way he was punching Oscar De La Hoya, you call him ferocious Fernando Vargas. He was ferocious with his shots. And sometimes Gennady Golovkin, it's like he's got this switch, and when the switch is not on, he's not ferocious. He's light work. And then, but when the switch is on, he can be just as killer as any other dude in the game right now. He can be just as deadly, and he can smash you with the left hook, and it's game over. But there were parts of that fight where Golovkin looked sweet. He didn't look like he didn't look like the guy who fought the guy who fought Gabe Rosado back in the day. The guy who fought fucking Curtis Stevens. Like, parts of Gennady Golovkin have sort of he's lost a step. He's not the same fighter as he used to be, and now he's being stalled out. Again, he's got to wait 6 months until he fights in May, so he's going to be the most inactive that he's ever been. And he's fighting Canelo, and Canelo knows how to improve as a fighter, and he knows how to make adjustments. And you're giving him this other fight. I gotta say, Canelo's probably gonna win it. You king fight these, man. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what it is, man.